Today on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, we'll preview the Tigers game against the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now. Hello and welcome inside the TSN studios for today's edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum. The Towson Tigers have clinched a spot in the CAA tournament and have wrapped up regular season CAA play, but have one more non-CAA game left when they welcome in the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. And to preview the matchup, I'm joined by the head coach, Sonia LaMonica. Coach, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, Ben.
So, you're done CAA play.
Yeah.
You have this non-CAA game to wrap up your season, and last year you had this with UConn as well. Mm-hmm. How does this come about that you're done your CAA play, but you're going to play Hopkins before the tournament?
Just another game, Ben. It's another game. We have to, continue to do the things we've been doing. We have to stick with kind of our routine, our sort of daily work, and sort of get back to work here tomorrow, and keep getting better. So, yeah, in conference, out of conference, I think at the end of the day, it's another great team, great competition, and a chance for us to sort of build on that before we get to CAA tournament time.
And you mentioned right there, right before CAA tournament time,
yeah.
Is there any, as a coach, you're in, you're locked in as the two.
Yeah.
Is there any kind of temptation to maybe rest some players who have played a lot of minutes this year, maybe sit somebody on the offensive end or rest Angie and get them a little bit of time in that game, but then make sure they're ready to go for the tournament?
I think the good thing is we've got a week to sort of recover from this past weekend, having 2 games through 3 days, and, getting that recovery, that rest is definitely important, but that's what we can use the front end of this week for. And I think it's important that we sort of get back and take it one day at a time, and we've got to continue to put our best foot forward and put our best out on the field. Every game matters, and we certainly don't want to overlook anything, and we're not going to overlook Hopkins, so we'll need to make sure that we step out in the field and are ready to compete and bring out our best in order to come out successful.
Hopkins 10-5 on the season. They're coming off a 12-6 win over Ohio State. Mm-hmm. They'll play Rutgers before coming to Johnny Unitas Stadium.
Yep. It's
a Hopkins team you beat 9-4 last year, and I remember sitting in that press box and a lot of Hopkins athletic department members saying, your Tiger defense, that was one of the toughest defenses they had seen to that point.
Yeah.
Can we expect more of the same?
I mean, I think so. Again, I think our defense is definitely a tough nut to crack. And when we've got strong play from Angie in goals, and then that first line, that first wall, of defense, they've been just doing outstanding. Couple hiccups through this season, but other than that, they have been very strong and mostly consistent. So I think it's going to take a great defensive effort. I mean, Hopkins always has highly skilled offensive players. They're often extremely good on the draw circle. They're well coached, and their players just have good lacrosse IQ. So they'll find ways to sort of break the defense down and maybe have some systems to do that. And we've just got to make sure we're doing X, Y, Z how we need to, and be tough. We've got to just be tough and play together as a unit. So I expect we'll have to have a very strong defensive outing to keep, a Hopkins team such as theirs, at bay.
We didn't get a chance to talk about it in the last show, but offensively in those 2 games over the weekend, Caitlin Montalbano with 2 hat tricks against Drexel and Delaware, Samonte and Telekamp also with hat tricks against Drexel.
Yeah.
This offense, they rise to the occasion time and time again.
Yeah.
Are you looking for maybe one last kind of tune-up, so to speak, against Hopkins to make sure they are ready to go and they're running like a well-oiled machine come tournament time?
I think there were some things we did really well offensively in our last game. But we can still fine-tune for sure definitely, and we're going to have to beat our best. At this point in the season, everybody's sort of trying to peak at the right time, and we certainly are trying to do that as well. So I think our chemistry has continued to improve. I think, you get more experience through seeing certain defenses over and over again, and, we've had a variety of people sort of step up to the plate. So that won't be a surprise if one person is having trouble or is limited or being sort of taken out or focus put on them, that others have to step up, and that's what we really need if we want to, continue our season and go take our season as far as we can.
And this game against Hopkins will also be senior day. It won't be the last time your seniors playing Johnny Unitas Stadium because of the tournament, but when you think of this group, headlined by girls like Sam Brookhart, Kelly McColgan, Alyssa Farrow, Michelle Gilday, what kind of comes to mind about this class as a whole and what these girls have meant to this program?
They're a very special group. I have so much trust in them. They've just been on board since day one. They have a great dynamic, a great chemistry. They're a fun group. They work so well together. I think they're all very supportive of one another, and you need that in order to have a strong culture and strong leadership. So they're a fun group. They definitely have some characters in that group which make it even more fun. Some of those seniors have babysat our kids. We're very, very close with this group, and you kind of don't want it to end. But we still got lots of lacrosse hopefully to be played, and I'm excited for this group to go out on a really high note this season. I think they've done a great job collectively to help lead our team this season.
And senior days, they can always be emotional games because it's the last time you play in a stadium, your last time with your team. How do you as a coach try to manage the emotions, because it's a high emotional time in the ceremonies before the game, and then you gotta get ready, pick up the stick, and go to work? How do you try to manage that? Yeah,
we try and keep the ceremonies before the game very brief, very kind of short, but obviously we want to honor those players who have invested in our program and our team, and to their families who have supported them through this journey. We have work to do, and it's business, and so we try not to sort of extend it too long, and certainly after the game is really where we can all come together and reminisce and have fun and laugh about a lot of different stories with them and their families. We try not to do too much of that before the game because we don't want to be distracted. Right. We can't afford to be focused, but I think senior day is always special in that way too. You have, everybody, particularly those seniors who want to, they're motivated. They have an extra little bit to give because, I think it starts to really sink in that it's almost at an end, and it goes so fast, and it's hard to grasp until you're actually going through it yourself.
The Tigers and Blue Jays are set for a noon opening draw inside Johnny Unitas Stadium. I'll have the call on TowsonTigers.com starting at 11:45. Coach, thanks for joining us, and good luck against Hopkins.
Thanks, Ben.
And thank you, fans, for joining us here today on the Tiger Lacrosse Report. For head coach Sonia LaMonica, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. We hope to see you at the U, and as always, go Tigers.